capital of Kazakhstan hosted the first international forum, Exploration in Kazakhstan, Focus Oil and Gas 2015. This is the first forum that talked about topical issues of petroleum geology. The forum brought together world-renowned geophysicists, geologists, also leading oil and gas company experts, as well as government agencies. It's Global Talk. I'm Chris Stanton.
Joining this forum, this conference here today and tomorrow, it's a tremendous opportunity to share experiences, to learn from each other, both from within Kazakhstan and from the region, Russia and other locations. By doing so, we will get to answers quicker, we will be able to grow together and make the industry more effective and more profitable for everybody.
Right now, the word needs to get out to the professionals themselves as to what the problems the producers and the developers are experiencing right now. Sadly, what you have is the people that are out there trying to explore and trying to produce at this point in time are being told to slow down because you have to deal with your associated petroleum gas. We have the solution for this.
I think being the first geology forum in Kazakhstan, of course, it's interesting. I met a lot of Aksakals that I knew from many years ago. And I think it shows that the level of technology and knowledge transfer in Kazakhstan is now coming up to the Western standards like it is in the US or in Europe. And it's very encouraging to see this many technical people under one roof, under the leadership of Mr. Klandikov. I'm very happy to be here.
I think it's a very good time for this forum because there is a lot of new things in Kazakhstan, and personally I'm particularly interested by your new law for all subsurface data, and I would like to know, I hope I will know much more tomorrow, the impact on data management of this new law.
The Republic of Kazakhstan is rich in natural resources. It possesses 3% of the world's oil reserves. It might seem like a little, but there are only 8 other states that possess more. They are Russia, Libya, Venezuela, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Iraq, and Iran. Saudi Arabia possesses 1/4 of the natural oil reserves in the world. Kazakhstan accounts for over 250 oil fields and 5 billion tons of black gold. Experts believe that in the deepest bowels of Kazakhstan, there is tremendous potential for mineral resources. Therefore, there is a need of qualitative monitoring of mineral resources, modern infrastructures, technology, and as well as highly skilled specialists.
I'm a geologist by background with over 30 years of industry experience. KMG recently, starting last year, began to reorganize its scientific programs. We've now organized our brightest and most talented experts across the fields of geology and geophysics into one organization. By the end of this year, we will be more than 800 staff strong. Our focus for KMG is to create more production, to develop more reserves, and to bring more efficiency into our oil field programs, both for production, development, and for exploration. We work across all of the oil fields inside Kazakhstan. We work with local companies, international companies. Our focus is about technologies, bringing new technologies to Kazakhstan so that we can create more production, more reserves, and create more profit for the country.
I have been working for my company here in Central Asia for the last 15 years. Okay, we are a French company, geophysical company. What we are doing, we are producing the equipment, mainly seismic equipment. Your geophysical companies working here in Kazakhstan, they are using CGG equipment, Sercel equipment. Sercel, it's a daughter company of CGG. And we did a lot of surveys in the past years in Kazakhstan. We did the important one was in the Caspian. It was 2005, 2006. We did the big 3D survey. We also we have Veritas Caspian joint venture. It is what we did multi-client offshore project. Multi-client, we have surveyed seismic in the Caspian Sea. We also processed the data, interpreted the data, and we sold this data together with the Committee of Geology to the main client. My client in Kazakhstan, we had Jibek at that time, Step Oil, many companies.
I think the main priority right now is to take the developed fields that they have and make sure that they are properly enforcing the laws that are in place right now. And then the ability to expand exploration and production is to bring in more investment. And that is one of the biggest aspects of this conference, is to make sure that you have the ability to bring in the investors that can come in here, establish a bulkhead, and then create exploration and production here in Kazakhstan.
Experts believe that the comprehensive exploration of aerial and ground geophysics, remote sensing, multi-element geotechnology, drilling, and laboratory analysis are the key to opening up more deposits at greater depths. The program of the forum has affected important ways of exploration, such as the resource potential of subsurface geophysical technology, field areas, marine development, scientific research, as well as funding.
A big part of our focus is about technologies, and this means bringing both new technologies and industry existing technologies. For this year, we've begun reviews of all the major oil fields, both in the Aktau and Atbara regions and across Kazakhstan. Our focus is to understand performance so that we can find even more oil in our existing fields. And we'll bring new technologies, new drilling technologies, new water flooding technologies, new polymer technologies, many of which have already been started in Kazakhstan, but starting this year, next year, and in the future we will expand those, and they will create more production, more reserves. On the exploration side, clearly the pre-Caspian Basin is a huge focus. We know and believe there's a lot more resource potential, both in that part of Kazakhstan and across all of Kazakhstan. To access that, it's really about getting the new seismic, new geophysical technologies, to look deeper into the earth to find those resources.
We are bringing in some new technology that is created in North America. We're bringing in processed water cleaning, and we're bringing in associated petroleum gas flaring solutions. Right now, there are 4 United Nations committees and 1 World Bank committee that are in favor of reducing the level of flare gassing going on in the Republic of Kazakhstan. Right now, there's a law in place that's asking for 95% of the associated petroleum gas to be utilized. And unfortunately, the developers are not capable to meet this at this point in time. Most of these sites are extremely remote. Therefore, traditional standards of going to large-scale gas to liquids, etc., are not working. So the ability to take a very small scale from 500 barrels up to 2,000 barrels per day out to the field itself, take it to the wellhead, and be able to turn this associated petroleum gas from a waste stream into a new revenue stream and create jobs here in Kazakhstan.
First of all, the best known part of Kazakhstan is this famous pre-Caspian basin around the Caspian Sea. The problem is oil comes from very deep, so it's very high pressured and it's very sour. In other words, it's full of hydrogen sulfide. And there are few places around the world like this, but very, very few as sour as Caspian Basin. So the cost of extracting that oil is very high. And then you have the problems of handling the sulfur, which is highly toxic. And re-inject, like what TCO does, re-injecting it back under. And I also think the recovery percentage of oil, what's geological reserves versus recovered oil, is still quite low in Kazakhstan. So that shows that need for newer technologies to be able to bring it up to maybe as high as Norway or somewhere in European, where recovery is just about 70%. So a lot of the oil that's still underground, that's been left and bypassed, in my mind, will require one more round of drilling and development in Kazakhstan, maybe another 10 years, to be able to recover most of the left oil from the past history.
So as we bring some new fields into production, it's about making sure we know the best technologies from around the world and bring them here. We have people, we have capability, we have our contractors, but we have to match those technologies to the type of oil, the type of gas that exists in our fields. And that's our focus for this year and next.
The forum has become a global platform which allows to discuss topical issues in the industry. The forum participants believe that this will help to develop effective solutions.
In America, we have a term called the no-brainer. I mean, Kazakhstan sits at such a strategically perfect place in terms of exploiting the Far Eastern market like China. It just couldn't be better. Now, you got almost 3,000 kilometers of borders, you got pipelines, trains, just about everything that can go to the east. So, to me, the most natural market for Kazakh fossil fuels is naturally China.
The geography of Kazakhstan is just in the middle between Western and Asia. So it's a center place for all the transaction, and particularly the oil and gas transaction. And you are just here, just in the middle between the two. From 1,000 years, all the traffic between Europe and Asia goes through Kazakhstan. It will continue to go even for the oil business.
В мире сейчас появились новые технологии. Этой новые технологии применить в Казахстане. Потому что очень громко объявили проект Евразии.
The world has to offer numerous new technologies. These new technologies are vital for Kazakhstan. We announced today a very ambitious project, Eurasia, with the Ministry of Energy, where we plan to organize deep drilling. We're talking about 15,000 meters. No one in the world implemented drilling on such a deep level. Russia, for example, drilled up to 12,000 meters, and the Gulf of Mexico at 10.5 thousand meters. We discussed this issue at the intergovernmental level for geology and exploration of the CIS countries, where Kazakhstan was chosen as a country with the resources of high potential. At the moment, we research the target structures of deep drilling at 7.5 thousand meters. We need to quickly realize these projects. We would like to use the opportunity of this international forum and attract scientists, professionals of the international companies who are present today, to exchange our ideas and learn from their experiences so we could apply it later in our own practice. This way, we would be able to solve our decisions following their example.
На этом первом международном форуме ученых, практиков и международных компаний много здесь присутствует, чтобы обменяться мнениями, опытами и дальнейшее его применить в наших работах в Казахстане, а также мы свои программы геологоразведки, чтобы ориентировали на эти решения.
Time passes and the world is changing. There are new challenges of finding deposits and production sites that are identified and ready to use. Difficulties are forcing experts to reanalyze their findings, also optimize their methods and techniques, as well as find new solutions. It was Global Talk. I'm Chris Stanton.